say see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosme, right out of Oklahoma City. We have Miss Ava Gore joining us tonight.
Hello.
And then we have Nate and Dan from the band Don't Believe in Ghosts out of New York, a super cool alternative rock band that I was listening to today. You guys got some great songs.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for having us on here with you. This is dope.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm happy you guys showed up. Like, super excited.
The intro song got me fired up.
Yeah, we try to come out strong. You know, we get so many metal bands on here that when I went to go do research on Don't Believe in Ghosts, I was like, this is different. This is cool. I like it. Kind of a different style. Ava, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice change of pace, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you guys have done some pretty cool things. So tell me about the band, when the band started, and just kind of the basics of the beginnings.
All right. Well, we're like a alternative indie rock type of band. We like to do, indie pop type stuff. Kind of whatever we're feeling. Like to keep it positive, kind of inspirational, sort of, lyrically is where we're at, kind of. And we're out of New York City.
That's cool. So what year did you guys form the band?
I think 2017 is really kind of like when we started to do stuff. We started putting out some music around then. And it's sort of like
it started off as kind of a solo project of yours, right? And then you slowly added members and
yeah, but like as far as like the band, really, I mean, I would say like 2017 it really started to do stuff. There's times before that
of joined in.
Yeah, of like kind of like locking myself away, and I was in like a heavier rock band, doing all that. I was on the road for 3 years and came back and wanted to do just like kind of like want to just be more creative, like the writing is such an important part of it. So it was important to kind of get away for a little while, write myself into like a new place. And so that like really came out with us playing live in like 2017 and then we've just been, building this thing since together.
So do you believe in ghosts?
That's always the question.
You believe in ghosts?
I do.
Well,
yeah, I do too.
Cool. That's cool. I mean, the title actually, the band name is really, it's about not giving energy to the ghosts of your past. So it's more basically about like how often like we will overthink things and wonder what other people are going to think, and how it sort of like debilitates us in a way. So it was sort of a self mantra almost for myself, like coming out of this old band, and like imagining, what people would think and how they would, how do you redefine who you are, without feeling judgment from people, so that's kind of like where the name came from.
More of the metaphorical kind of route, I guess.
Yeah.
Did the band, when you guys started playing together, was it something that you sought out other musicians, or was it something, I guess it's supposed to Nate, was this, you knew the guys in the band before they joined Don't Believe in Ghosts?
Yeah, I mean, like, Dan was in another band around here. Lex and I played together before. Okay. Who's the bass player. So, knew these guys, and then we actually found him on Craigslist.
Cool.
Yeah, we were both in bands that were active in the New York scene, and we had played a show together in Florida a long time ago. Even though we were both from New York City, it was the first time we met there in Florida, and the timing just worked out. My band was broken up. My band of 7 years was broken up just around the time that he was looking for guys, and he reached out to me just to kind of fill in. I was doing session musician kind of work, and he just wanted me to fill in for a show at a really good big venue, and it was a cool opportunity. So we kind of hit it off from there, and the rest is history.
So Backpage.com is where you found each other.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It was on gdate.com.
There should be like a Craigslist just for bands. There really should be, because I think a lot of people look for music, and there probably is. There probably is.
It's so creepy, man. Craigslist is so creepy now.
I know it is.
It used to be so dope. Like you could get it.
Things, weirdly enough, it still works for something. Like some people still are on it and do things on it. But
I bought a lawnmower from there like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm missing this a few times on the show, but like I met my best friend on Craigslist. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. You did. So okay, now Dan, were you also in a harder band before joining Don't Believe in Ghosts?
Yeah, definitely harder than this. We weren't really too hard, but we were like an alternative rock band, comparable to the sounds of like Muse and 30 Seconds to Mars, kind of the two fusion of those two kind of sounds.
Okay, I think joining I guess it wouldn't be too much soft. I mean, it's not like, were you guys in metal bands at all, or was it just like harder than this, but still kind of
like the last band that I was in was a lot heavier than this, you know, and the band before that was even heavier. I mean, if you go back to like the stuff that I was doing when I was like, I played Dan some stuff, it was just scream stuff like back in the day. And like at that point, it was like there was a point in my life though where it was like, you know, you're coming out of your teens, you got like the angst, you got a lot to say, you know, and or you think you got a lot to say, right? So it's like, and you got to scream it. You're like, everybody listen to me, and that was kind of like what I was doing for a while. We played 2 shows with that band at the end that both got broken up by the police.
That's
and
cool.
And it was after the second time when the cop literally like threw me against a fucking van and was like, I could fucking kill you. And I was like, when I looked over, my parents were there like this, shaking their heads. They were so disappointed. And I remember driving away from that thinking, I think the message is getting lost.
Right.
Maybe there's another way to say this stuff, you know?
Right.
So.
You think writing softer music takes a little bit more talent, or I guess that would offend some heavy metal bands. So not only I don't want to do that, but do you think writing it's hard? Do you think it's harder to write softer music than it would be just to write some heavier songs? For your opinion,
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily matters, but I do kind of see that way of thinking with metal. I think about like, you know, not as much of a variety of different tones and sounds where it's like, it's usually just like one guitar tone straight through and it's one volume, it's all that, you know, whereas like, I guess certain other kinds of music, you're thinking about kind of a full palette of different colors and sounds and, you know, you know, not to say that certain metal bands these days now have definitely gotten a little bit more creative and incorporated like synths and other things in their music. So I definitely appreciate that.
I think it depends on the band, you know?
Yeah, it depends on the band, man. I mean, like, there's bands that aren't necessarily just screaming at you, but are heavy as fuck, you know? Like, it's like you're suddenly feeling it, you know? And I think, like, the thing is like, there's a, now I'm not talking a pop punk, like this pop punk shit, but there's a definite punk inside me, like old school, classic, like, punk rock type stuff, like you like your Misfits fucking thing back there,
the Ramones maybe.
Yeah, like there's that in me that I think like still like you can't get rid of live. So like a lot of that kind of comes across.
I actually hear that come through sometimes in his voice, especially in some of the old and the very early Don't Believe in Ghost stuff. One song that comes to mind, and everybody I know is going crazy. I get a little bit of a pop punk vibe from that song, even though it's, you know, it's not really. But
I like pop punk.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say pop punk. Like what I'm saying is it's like just raw, like old school punk attitude in there a bit live, you know, not like, you know, Machine Gun Kelly and his girlfriend and, you know, Travis Barker on drums, you know, I'm talking like mall pop, you know.
Do you feel like a different person when you are performing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. Like, so before a show for me, I have to disconnect entirely. I can't talk, and I have to like sort of like go into a different space for me. You know, it's different. Like, if like I think it's different if you're, you know, like as a musician, you can get up and just do whatever. It's play by numbers. But when it's your heart, like what you're getting across is real feelings and emotions that you're trying to get across. You can't just literally step on stage and give your best performance. It's either going to be absolute crap or you're going to have connected to what that place is, because that place is not a G sharp and an A flat, you know what I mean? It's none of that. That doesn't exist in a song. That exists in a math problem. you know? So you have to, so like going into the zone, you're getting in your zone, you're going there. And then like that actually like hits me on the other end of a show too, because like it takes me a minute to flip back to like being social, you know? After, for me at least, you know?
Do you notice that? Sorry, because I want to know if Dan ever goes, "Hey, Nate, like, he's like, don't talk to me, dude."
I was gonna ask if it's like that for both of you, even though.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's almost more like I feel more of myself when I'm on stage. Not to be, I don't know if that sounds corny or cheesy or whatever, but it definitely, it feels like a place that's more at home for me. You know,
No, I get that.
I would say it's definitely different. Definitely different than my everyday life, but I definitely feel a little bit more at home on stage.
I'm so jealous. I need to be in a band. I need to be in a band.
Wasn't that you singing that intro song?
No. That's a band called Hot Zone. They're out of the East Coast. They wrote that. I literally asked them if they would write me an intro song. They said sure. And like a month later, they emailed that to me, and I was like, "Can you bleep out the bad words?" They're like, "Yep." 10 minutes later, I had it, and I was like, "Done."
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't even talk to them. Yeah, I know. So yeah, they did that. But so okay, your newest song is "Put Your Head Back," right? And that song just came out, but we're gonna play that one. But like I said, we're gonna play it. Facebook's probably gonna get mad at us. So before we play it, let's go back to like 2019, because wasn't that a pretty good year for you guys?
2019 was a starting year. 2020 was gonna, you know, for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kicked off 2020. They're like, here we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
And then it obviously did not happen. But you guys had a couple you had a pretty big hit in 2019 that was played on some radio stations, maybe?
Don't wake me up,
so,
like this. Oh no, during the pandemic, I forgot.
Yeah, that was during the pandemic. So 2019, we had our biggest shows. I mean, like I grew up like, I don't know if you know, in New York City, Bowery Ballroom. I mean, it's like I saw everybody at Bowery Ballroom. I mean, like, just such a legendary and cool club. I mean, like, you know, watching the Strokes come up or watching, you know, Interpol or whoever, you know what I mean? It was like band after band. I mean, I think I even saw the Verve there at one point, you know, like just insane like life stuff. And then we headlined there twice in 2019, which was you know, 2 sold out shows, 2 separate times. It was like that's a big deal. Yeah, and that was like those were big moments for us. And then we went on our first like kind of little tour out there. And then we were gearing up. We had a new single called Living Like This. We had just done a video for it. We were getting ready to release it. We had a big kickoff, you know, for everything that was going to happen for the year, party ready to go. And then it was literally March 13th, the night the world shut down.
Yeah.
It was right on the border, and that it's a show that we actually had to push back at least 4 or 5 times. And now it's September 18th, so it's looking like we'll finally be able to keep that date. Okay. So we've been looking forward to that show for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So are all the shows that you were doing, since you weren't able to do them, did all of them get postponed and you're actually redoing those shows?
No, everything is going to be fresh. We're going to head out on tour probably this fall. It's going to be all different stuff. The only thing that's kind of like dragged on was this, you know, hometown headlining show at the Knitting Factory, which they kept moving the date. It was like, it was crazy because the March show, it was like, well, surely in like 2 months we'll be able to come back, right? So they're like, you know, we'll be back in May, and then it was July, and then it was September, and then it was April, and then it was like, fuck this, let's make it September of next year, you know? So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff actually for, September, so it's September 2022?
This year.
No.
Oh, yeah, September 2021, right? Okay. Yeah, I've actually seen some, I've seen some concerts actually for promoting already 2022, and I'm like, that's long. A long way, like just some punk thing on a cruise ship. But anyways, how did you guys because you guys are signed to a label, were you found, how were you found, how did that all get to where you guys were signed to Warner, or right? Is that right?
Yeah, so we're on Imagen through Warner ADA.
Okay.
And Imagen Records actually, so I kind of work with the label. I help the label out with stuff, right? And and it was just like, and I know Morgan Rose from Seven Dust, the drummer of Seven Dust. So, you know, he's a good friend. He's, you know, co-runs a label with Bob. And, you know, they saw that this record was coming, and they've been watching like a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. And they were just like, listen, why don't we put the record out through Imagen? You know, this will be a cool thing to do. And we were just like, yeah, let's, you know,
it was kind of a little bit of a conversation a while back where he said something about maybe doing a one song kind of deal. That we didn't really hear much about it. We just kept doing us. And then we heard back from him again about doing a full album. And, you know, we all talked about it, and it seemed like there was only one place to go, and it was up, you know, from doing it. So
the thing is that like, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, I've kind of like have also worked in the industry for a while, and it's like, and we've had like offers before, and there's this word that they use with these deals, in perpetuity. And as at heart, like an indie artist, like as an artist, I don't give a fuck about anything else. I just want to create.
Right.
I don't really fucking care. You know how many people that I've played in bands with that have all quit because they're like, we're not famous. I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit. Like, I'm going to do this regardless of who's around me and what's happening. Like, this is fucking happening. So to me, it was never about like getting a big record deal and becoming famous or any of that shit. Like because I helped so many bands do that throughout my time, you know, that like, that wasn't it. To me, it was about having the ability to create. So there were other deals, there were other offers that had come along. They use that fucking in perpetuity word of taking your master from you forever with no guarantee of anything, right? So this was a different kind of deal. This was a super artist friendly deal, and it gave us an opportunity to get in the Warner system and you know, open some doors for us. So
right. Yeah, sure. We just got our first record deal ever, and like we're not so sure about it. You know, like it's kind of scary, but yeah, I don't. Would you recommend it to other musicians, or do you just think it depends?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the label. I think it depends on the deal. You know, I mean, like I helped some big bands that are out there, you know, like over the years, and like I'm watching, you know, the difference between like each band and what happens. It's like there's no way to predict it, right? So it really depends on the label, depends on who's there. What label did you guys sign with?
So we haven't signed yet. It's with Out of Line Music. They're from Germany.
Okay. So is it international deal, or is it just for Germany?
It's an international deal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who they are. Who else is on that label?
They have goth music. I think mostly it's like Combi Christ. I don't know if you know them or.
Yeah, of course I do. Okay. No, they're dope. The only thing I would say to you, I mean, like as we go in this direction here, the only thing I would say about that is you know, you want to retain the rights to your masters, and if you give that up for like a year or two, that's fine, you know. But like if they're gonna hold it longer than that kind of thing, you want to have like a level of like what you guys achieve in order to keep that going. You know,
my understanding, and you can correct me, Steve, on this, but is that the kind of deal that we got, at least as far as I've been doing this, I haven't seen anything like it. I thought it was a pretty rare, kind of deal that we got. You know, I haven't seen bands get that, and I think it's just because we had, you know, we had a great relationship with the label for a long time, you know, before we were signed. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna start a record label and sign all of you guys. You guys keep all your shit. I don't care. I won't do much for you, but you guys can be signed. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good insight. That's good insight. A good question, Ava. With Put Your Head Back, you got some really cool people got their hands on this, help produce it. We're gonna play that song. Tell us about that first. Don't play the song and see if we get kicked off Facebook for doing so.
Okay. Well, Dan can tell you how we started writing this song.
Yeah, we were on the road actually. Usually when we write songs, it's usually two of us at a time in a room. You know, a lot of the time it's me and Steve kind of putting together a song, and then each member of the band separately meet with him and put their kind of stamp on it. But for this was the first time that all of us were actually in a room together, and we wrote it in a hotel room, you know, the four of us.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
just
so
kind of, some songs, like, you know, there's like a whole elaborate process, like, oh, we worked on it for months and we finally finished it, whatever. Sometimes songs just come, certain ones come really easy, and they just kind of fall into place very naturally, and it just works out that way. I think.
Yeah, and like this one kind of also evolved a little bit. Like, what's funny about it is we sat outside at the hotel and we were like, we should go in and write a song. And we actually like talked about what we wanted the song to kind of do, which was like a weird thing beforehand, which we hadn't really done. And then we went in and kind of like did what we were talking about doing. And then when we brought it back, and then it sort of like lyrically took on a sort of different meaning as like we dealt with the things that we were dealing with as, you know, COVID kicked in and all that stuff, and I lost my brother and all that stuff, you know. So it kind of took on that, you know, like at first you might listen to it and think it's like a whimsical sort of pop song, but it's not. And there's like a lot more to it. And it's really just about like getting to that really dark, like fucking place where it's all just sort of like falling apart, where you're almost like losing your mind, you know, like during that whole period, people were just at home, like going crazy, like losing their mind, you know? And we tried to articulate that with the video a little bit, you know, where it's like this total, like, you know, people are doing crazy stuff, but we did it in a fun way, you know. But it's about like just sort of like getting out of that, losing your mind, that crazy space that we get into, and like, you know, put your head back in your heart. Like, who are you really? Like, where are you headed? What are you doing here? Like, get back on, pull yourself back on track type of message for yourself, you know.
Yeah, let's check it out. And who helped produce this was it the same dude? Talked about it before we started. Imagine Dragons and the Killers, right?
Yeah. So Mark Needham mixed the song.
There you go. Okay, mix it. There you go. Yeah, I read that. That was super cool. All right, here is the song right now. Put your head back. Let's check it out. I'm going to pause it real quick for 1 second. If Facebook kicks us off, you can catch the rest of the interview on YouTube. We're about to wrap it up anyways. Just want to put that out there. Okay, here we go.
Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back home. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back home. Well, I know that it all could get better.
We filmed this in my apartment.
Sometimes when you're alone, you barely hold.
What'd you say?
I said we filmed this whole video in my apartment.
Oh, cool. The whole thing? Awesome.
The whole fucking thing.
Okay, cool.
Hold it together. Sometimes we climb so high out our minds. Sometimes we find what's right inside. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back home. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back home. Feel your body shaking, energy it's seeking. All these hands are chasing down. Right now I'm thinking it could be time to pull these vibes together. And if I stop, oh don't stop. You can't fool yourself forever. Sometimes we climb so high out our minds. Sometimes we find what's right inside. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back home. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back home. Feel your body shaking, energy it's sinking. All these hands are chasing down. Deny, catch you falling. Deny, I'll get you now. Deny, Didn't I catch you falling? Didn't I? I'll get you now. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back. Feel your body shaking. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back. All these highs and chasing. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back. Now put your head back in your heart. Now put your head back. All these highs and chasing down. Feel your body shaking, energy that's sinking. All these highs and chasing down. Feel your body shaking, energy that's sinking. All these highs and chasing down.
All right. Pause this. Okay, cool. Dude, that first of all, that video looks fun to make. Second of all, did you completely fucking trash your apartment?
Oh yeah, pretty damn close, man. Pretty damn close. We filmed it over 3 days, and it was like some of those sets took like hours to build. You know,
dang, dude, yeah. But it looks fun, and you just buy those props. It was like donut props and things like that.
Yeah, they were just balloons.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balloon donuts.
I don't know if you've seen any of our other videos, but like we try and create this like sort of alternate universe. So they're all like a little different. There's like totally different vibes going on with it, and we just try and kind of have fun with it, you know? Like if we're gonna go through the work of making a video, we should have a good time like making it, you know, make it cool.
Yeah, dude, that song is fantastic. Ava, what'd you think about it?
It's pretty awesome. Very colorful.
I wish I could be there when you guys made that video. I think I feel like I want to be there for that video make. All right, so you guys obviously have some merchandise. Tell people where they can go to find your merchandise, your website, things like that.
Yeah, don'tbelieveinghosts.com has you know, basically the hub for everything. You know, most of the time.
Too, or
yeah, well, yeah, you can get there from, there's an Amazon store which has like a bunch of t-shirts because it's like super dope. Like we can upload it and then they just like take care of it all for you, you know? So, but you can get to all that stuff through the website, don'tbelieveinghosts.com. Can you believe we were able to get don'tbelieveinghosts.com? Think about it.
Yeah, I know. That is crazy. You know, and I got, well, it's not as cool as yours, but I got theloudspot.net. Theloudspot.com was taken. But .net was available.
You got a .net, yeah. The fact that I didn't end up with a don'tbelieveinghosts.net is incredible to me.
Yeah. We got weirdwolves.com.
Did you really?
Yeah.
See?
Awesome.
Dude, it's so hard. I feel like it's so hard to get website names nowadays. But you know, your website, I did go to your website, and I'll tell you, your website does have all your about info, has your touring information, has your merch information, has your music video, your newest music video on it, plus a few other songs on it. So if you want to check out their songs, you can check out other songs plus the music video, all their merch. It's don'tbelieveinghosts.com.
Yep.
And it's plural with the ghost. All right, Ava, do you have any last questions for them? We're going to end the show.
You said that you like to keep your music positive and inspirational. Is it ever hard to not go to a more, I guess, a darker place, I should say?
I think we have with a couple of our songs, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, so there's the self-indulgent dark place, which is sort of like something that I try and avoid, you know what I mean? That's like, you know, the like, oh shit, nobody likes me, you know, kind of thing, you know? And it's like, well, fuck them, who cares, right? So like, to me, it's more like they're all slightly dark. I mean, if you think about it, you know, like if you like living like this is just about our like obsession with being accepted and with consumerism and like being just everything's for sale and everything's being shoved at you, you know. Put your head back, like I said, is like about just you're in this really dark place where you're literally losing your mind. I mean, like imagine how everybody was at home, like just like losing their minds during it's about that. It's like coming out of that place, you know. you know, so like, so they're all kind of there, but it's, I think in life, I mean, it's just about perspective, right? So like we choose the world that we want to create kind of, you know, and that's created by like our thoughts. So, you know, why not try and just like take it and make it a little bit better, right? So
Right.
Yeah, it's so crazy that you can have an outlook on something, and then you change your outlook, completely changes like your whole opinion on everything. It's just like literally, it's a mind shift, dude. I like your heads at. I like why you write your music. I like the songs you guys are writing. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I don't want you guys to go anywhere. I want you to stay right there. I want to thank all the listeners who listen to The Loud Spot. You can find us on www.theloudspot.net. We got merchandise on there. You can see old podcasts. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Check out Ava's band also, Weird Wolves, and go listen to some more Don't Believe in Ghosts. Peace out, rock on. Wait, yep. And much though I kind of fucked it up. That's all right. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. And outro song is right here.
This is the Loud Spot outro by Nothing Short of Tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does Nothing Short of Tragic have his back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. A pimp host has a pimp show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to click the like and share button.
Don't forget to go to our YouTube and subscribe.
If you want to listen to our audio and pick up some cool merch, go to www.theloudspot.net. Peace out, rock on, much love.